So let's hop right into it, honestly. 3 things that no one likes to do that will help get you ahead, right? Whenever we're starting a craft or whenever we're, starting something new, right? We're all amateurs, right? And we want to, of course, as we're going through it, we want to get better so that way we're more recognized in our own industry or our own profession. So that way we're selected a lot more times, often. So we're selected more times than not to be able to handle all these jobs and all this stuff, right? We want to work for the big guys. We want to, do big things and all that, right? But of course, we have to build our skill sets and, of course, compete with everybody else to be able to earn those spots, right? And so I've learned some things while I'm developing skills, basically while I'm developing myself against these other players, right? And 3 things I've learned from this. So the first one is working for free, right? You don't want to misconcept this, right? You're working to build your experience, right? And your skill sets. When you build that, you can start not really stepping everybody. You can start stepping everybody. Yeah, you can start stepping everybody. And be like, yo, I just did this. Not to big yourself up, but you can really just walk into rooms knowing what you can do and how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You can work well, you can work efficient, right? You're walking knowing that there's footsteps behind you. You know what I'm saying? You have battle scars from the battles you've been a part of. And that really just comes in also just investing in you, right? You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're working for free, make sure to always take whatever you have to reinvest into you, take account of everything, your performance metrics, what you've done, how good it looks, how people feel about it, things like that, right? That's how you start to estimate how much your stock is going to be worth, right? And if that stuff is getting better and better, that means your stock is increasing, which means you should start heading on for bigger fish in the ocean, right? Start trying to tackle bigger fish and acquire bigger fish because you're starting to become that type of fisher. I need to remember to make sure to continue working this skill because this is like my 7th take. So number 2 is being the amateur, right? You're looking at the dummy at the start, but when you're nice, the interest follows, right? This is a universal law, right? I wouldn't say it's universal law, but it's something I really noticed universally across any venture, right? When you're new at something, people are kind of going to overlook you and be like, oh, he's not that nice, it wasn't that good, right? Because people's expectations of you are pretty high. They're not looking to see how much effort you're putting into the video, they're looking at the skill set, right? I like and I learn to appreciate people that put in effort because I know that the skill is going to follow, right? It's like a stock, it's going to go up as you put more and pour more into that skill set, right? And that however well you perform is going to get better and better. So just understand that don't be afraid to be the amateur. Don't be afraid to be the amateur. Because as long as you're continuing to work yourself to get better, it's all just a matter of time. It really all is just a matter of time. And then people are going to treat you better from there. I mean, it's kind of conditional, but that's the way it is. So that's how I learned. And then being forged by the fire, right? This is more sort of a mindset thing, right? And people don't implement this in their mindset. And it's slowing them down from being able to venture out, right? There's going to be challenges, right? And things that are going on around you, right? That are going to be basically try to inhibit or affect the way you perform or affect your performance, right? And when I say, let me be more specific, right? Say you have personal issues, right? Family issues, girlfriend issues, and stuff like that, or money issues and things like, things just not looking right. You know what I'm saying? Understand that the battlefield is never going to be perfect, right? The battlefield never looks perfect, right? There's blood everywhere. There's always, people dying left and right. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck in the trench. You're taking heavy fire. You have no assistance or nothing. And I just compare this to the battlefield because I just feel like it's just like war, But it's just a mindset that you have to understand that these things are going to happen, right? And with that mindset implementation, what it does is allow for another mindset to emerge where it's like, okay, what can I do to continue to proceed despite all these challenges and everything that is coming at me, right? And you understand that the mission is important and what important is going to take heed, right? That mindset is going to take heed when it comes down to performance, right? There's nothing that's really going to stop you from performing because you won't allow it, if that makes sense. And that's really just about it. Yeah, those are like mindset, These are more mental models and things, you know what I'm saying? But they can be converted into action, right? I'll just recap, right? Working for free, right? And I'm not saying it ties along with being the amateur, right? Because you know that you're the amateur, right? You understand that your stock is low. Your stock is, and everything is just, no one's trying to invest in you, right? Unless it's dirt cheap and they can buy, they can get more of you for cheap. That makes sense. So, with that, I mean, I would say that's just how the game goes. You accept that for a little bit. You have to accept that that's the way it is for a little bit, right? But you have to be willing to want to change that, okay? So that's why when you're going out, you're making sure you're tracking your experiences, you're collecting all this data and everything, and using it to help you get better, right? Helping you learn how to speak better, actually work the skill that you're getting paid for better, and just, like I said, just do everything better, right? And when you're doing that, understand that there's going to be challenges and everything that's stopping you from, or not really stopping you, but working to stop or inhibit or affect the way you perform or affect you performing at all. So you just have to understand that these things are gonna come, but you have to be really mission centered and mission and vision focused to be like, nah, fuck that, fuck all of that. I'm gonna come and get what I came for. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's gonna stop me, because the only time that this fails, can't even talk, y'all. Only time that this is going to fail is if I'm going to quit. That is the only time. That is the only time failure is guaranteed, when you quit. Thank you all. See you next one.